أما الآن وكافتتاحية لهذا المؤتمر العلمي والاجتماعي يتقدم سفير المملكة العربية السعودية صاحب السمو الملكي خالد بن بندر بن سلطان آل سعود حفظه الله كلمته عبر زوم. متشكرا.
Good morning to you all. Shukran. What a wonderful introduction, and it's a pleasure to be with you all here today. Unfortunately, through Zoom, I couldn't make it personally, but I'm thrilled to be with you. When we set out on our journey to develop and transform our country under the auspices of Vision 2030, we put forward some very hopeful and some very ambitious aims. We wanted to push the limits of what we could achieve as a country. And in just a few short years, we've begun to see some of the fruits of our labor and to see the change that can happen within and without from having ambitious and important goals. Today's event here symbolizes so much of what is part of Vision 2030, and it's an important reminder of what high academic standards are. Engagement, discussion, analysis are all the things that one strives to achieve in any academic institution, and I'm thrilled to see Newcastle not only maintaining but improving on those standards. When I was in my previous life, before I became an ambassador, I was in the private sector, and I came home one day fairly frustrated with various dealings I had had with some of our government institutions and other companies in Saudi Arabia. And an aunt of mine saw me angry, and she said, "What's wrong?" So I explained to her what the problem was. And she said to me, she laughed, she said, "And what are you going to do about it?" I said, "Well, we're not going to be able to do anything because this country is never going anywhere if we're not developing, if we're not doing things, if we're not changing." And she said, "The problem isn't with your country, the problem is with you. You and your generation think you're in the developing world. You're not. You're in the first world. But until you realize you're in the first world, institutions of government, other businesses, they'll never go anywhere. Until you realize what you can and can't do, we're going to be stuck here. So if you want to make the world better for all of us, you need to change the way you think." And that stuck with me quite significantly. When we started putting together Vision 2030 and what we wanted to achieve, it was what she said to me then that really resonated and I saw coming out in the vision. Today, I'm very privileged and lucky to say that I see this in our country, that the country and the people no longer see themselves as developed. They see themselves as developed, and they see themselves on a par with everyone else, and in some cases even better, and succeeding and pushing the limits of what is possible and what we can achieve as a nation. And I'm proud of that. We're breaking barriers, and most importantly, we're not putting barriers upon ourselves. And I think that's one of the most important parts of Vision 2030, and if it's the only thing that happens, I'll consider it a success. The subject of today's discussion is incredibly important to what we're trying to achieve in Vision 2030. Vision 2030 is about quality of life. It's about improving the quality of life of every individual in Saudi Arabia. In order to do that, we have to improve, change, develop the whole ecosystem of what surrounds a human life. And that's security, stability, health, education, economy, social interaction. All of that needs to be worked on. And the core word for making this successful is sustainability in all those aspects. So I'm delighted to see that this is what the focus of today's conversation is, because without stability, everything is just a flash in the pan. It's today's project, succeed, everyone's happy, but what happens next year, in 10 years, 20 years? What are we going to do after Vision 2030? We'll have Vision 2040. We'll have Vision 2060. We'll have Vision 2100. That is the core of what we're trying to achieve, because it's not just about our lives today. It's about improving what was and that's called tradition, and it's about improving what is, and that's called the future. Without this discussion, Vision 2030 will dry up and shrivel, and it'll be just a page in history. We don't want it to be a page in history. We want it to be the history making of our nation going forward. So I'm really proud that we're seeing this discussion today. I'm thrilled, and I'm really hopeful that we'll see some very, very good effects on what we're trying to do and what we're trying to achieve. And with that, I'd like to really give a special thanks to Newcastle University for making this happen and allowing this discussion to be carried out. It really is what universities are there for. It is a mark of why so many of our students want to come to this country to study. So this is a wonderful thing. Thank you very much, Newcastle. I'd also like to give a special thanks to the Cultural Bureau and the amazing Professor Fatani for what she's done. She's done a fantastic job in enabling these sorts of events to happen. Also, a big thanks to all the participants today. I look forward to hearing what comes out of this discussion. But most importantly, and what really fills me with pride, is thanks to our students. When I was younger, we didn't have students who were doing this sort of thing. And to see them doing it, taking their future in their own hands, and playing such a big role in what is the most important development in our country in recent times is thrilling, and it makes my life much easier. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Without you guys, there's no future. Barakallah feekum, wallahu wafikum kullakum, wa jazakum Allah khair. Thank you very much.